Sometimes the hardest decision in life is knowing when to let go of security and step into the unknown. In the heart of a lively city, filled with glowing billboards, constant traffic, and endless chatter, lived a man named Ethan. He was 32 years old, a devoted husband, and the proud father of a little girl who loved to paint rainbows on every wall she could reach. By day, Ethan worked as an accountant in a respected firm. Numbers surrounded him, papers piled up like tiny mountains on his desk, and deadlines chased him endlessly. Yet every evening, when the office lights dimmed and colleagues hurried home, Ethan found himself restless. He wasn't just an accountant, he was a dreamer. His true passion lay in baking, a skill he had learned from his grandmother who once ran a tiny bakery in a quiet corner of the city. Whenever Ethan baked, whether it was golden bread with crispy crusts or soft pastries filled with chocolate, his heart felt alive. Neighbors praised his treats, and his wife encouraged him to think bigger. Slowly, what had begun as a hobby turned into a small side hustle. Orders came in through friends, then neighbors, and eventually through strangers who had tasted his creations at birthday parties. But life wasn't that simple. Ethan's full-time job demanded long hours. He often stayed late, crunching numbers while his dreams of opening a bakery waited silently in the background. His exhaustion grew, and yet so did his longing to escape. A question burned in his mind. Should I quit my job and dedicate myself fully to my bakery dream? One weekend, feeling torn and overwhelmed, Ethan visited his Uncle Daniel who lived in the countryside. Uncle Daniel wasn't just family. He was known for his wisdom. Years ago, Daniel had left his comfortable office career to become a farmer. Many doubted him, but today his farm supplied fresh produce to half the city. As Ethan arrived, the countryside air wrapped him in peace. He watched children chase ducks by the river, women hanging laundry under the sun, and the smell of fresh hay filled his lungs. Something inside him whispered, "This is freedom." Later that afternoon, Ethan found Uncle Daniel mending a wooden fence. After a warm greeting, they sat together on a bench near the barn. Ethan hesitated, then finally poured out his heart, about his job, his bakery dream, and his fear of risking his family's stability. Uncle Daniel listened quietly, his weathered hands resting on his knees, his eyes kind but sharp. After a moment of silence, he said, "Ethan, the path you are considering is not easy, but I'll tell you what I wish someone had told me when I faced the same choice. There are 7 truths you must understand before you decide." Ethan leaned forward, every word etching itself into his mind. "First," Daniel began, "start small. Dreams are like seedlings. They don't grow into giant trees overnight. Too many people jump in big and collapse under their own weight. They rent huge shops, buy expensive equipment, and take loans they cannot pay back. Don't make that mistake. If your bread sells in dozens, increase it to hundreds. Step by step, you'll build not only income, but confidence." Ethan nodded, remembering how he once received an order for 200 cupcakes and nearly panicked because he hadn't prepared enough. "Second," Daniel continued, "measure your side income. If your bakery already pays your monthly bills, it's promising, but not enough. Stability matters. Wait until your side income is at least double what your family needs. Why? Because unlike a salary, business income rises and falls like the tide. With double, you'll have a cushion against storms." The advice hit Ethan hard. He realized he had only looked at profits on good weeks, ignoring the quiet ones when orders slowed down. "Third," Daniel said, "secure an emergency fund. 6 months of expenses at the very least, 1 year if possible. A business is unpredictable. If sales dip or unexpected costs arise, savings will let you breathe instead of panic." Ethan thought about his family. The thought of running out of money terrified him. Perhaps this was the safety net he needed before leaping. Fourth, Daniel explained, develop management skills. Baking delicious bread isn't enough. You must learn marketing, customer service, supply management, even digital promotion. Many talented people fail because they think skill alone guarantees success. Treat your bakery not as passion only, but as a business that must survive. Ethan's chest tightened. He loved baking, but he had never really studied how to manage it like a professional business. Fifth, Daniel leaned closer. You must have determination. Once you dive in, there will be challenges. Competition, sleepless nights, moments of self-doubt. Perseverance is your fuel. Without it, even the tastiest bread will not save your dream. Ethan sighed, but deep inside he felt a fire sparking. Sixth, Daniel said, stability of your side business. Test it over time. 3 months of steady income is good. 6 months is better. If your bakery thrives through different seasons, holidays, slow months, busy months, that means it's strong enough to support you. Ethan recalled how orders boomed during Christmas but slowed in January. Stability was indeed missing. Finally, Daniel placed a firm hand on Ethan's shoulder. Seventh, understand risks. Study your market. Who are your competitors? What do customers really want? What are the biggest dangers? The more you understand, the less fear controls you. Risks cannot be erased, but they can be managed. Silence followed. Only the rustle of leaves and distant crowing of a rooster filled the air. Ethan's heart raced. So, should I quit my job now? He asked softly. Daniel smiled. That decision is yours. But now you hold the map. Don't jump blindly. Walk with wisdom. That evening, Ethan returned home with clarity. He didn't resign immediately. Instead, he began testing new recipes, saving more, studying marketing, and tracking his bakery's stability. He was no longer impatient, because he now understood that great journeys are built step by step. And perhaps that is the greatest lesson. Success is not about rushing, but about building strong foundations so that when the storm comes, your dream does not collapse. From Ethan's journey, we learn that following a dream requires both courage and preparation. Dreams without planning are fragile, but when built with patience, savings, skills, and strategy, they can grow into something unshakable. And remember, just like Ethan learned new steps for his bakery, you too can learn new English words and practice them daily. Every small effort adds up, whether in business, in life, or in language learning. So, what about you? If you were in Ethan's place, would you take the leap now, or prepare a little longer?